Heston, thank you so much for your time. Now, you've spent most of the week down in Canberra meeting with some relevant ministers. What's your point of view and the veteran community's point of view when it comes to Minister for Veteran Affairs? Is some continuity wanted? Do they want to see Darren Chester still remain in the role, or is a shake-up needed?
Yeah, g'day Anna, very good question. There are some people calling for Darren Chester to remain, with the justification being continuity, but I myself believe it's time for him to go. Darren Chester's been there for 3 years now, and as you were aware and we spoke about, we did our own consultation process for the terms of reference, and we had 865 submissions. And as a part of our questionnaire, we asked those veterans who provide their submissions how they were travelling with their mental health. And we had over 400 veterans say that they had either attempted or considered suicide. And on the 21st of May, I provided that report with those statistics to Darren Chester and his office. And when I went down to, and part of the reason why I went down to Parliament last week was to follow up, because no one from his office has followed up with us or reached out with regards to the welfare of those veterans. And I asked that same question of the Attorney General, whereas we have stepped up a veteran support force to do that. And continuity is one thing, but it's time for innovation, and it's time for evolution, and it's time for action. And I think we need someone new in there. Darren Chester, it is a difficult portfolio, and I think it's time for him to move on to something that might be more suited for him, and time to really make the most of this Royal Commission. And I think a fresh start and someone who will be of benefit to the veteran community into the future, not just here and now for continuity, needs to be the focus behind this.
We have heard a few names be floated to potentially take over the portfolio. Is there anyone that you think that you'd like to see take the role? Good
question. Without going into the politics of it, I met with a fair few people down there. I know one of the names that was floated was Bridget McKenzie. We've spoken of that, and I actually met with her down there. And I think after meeting with Barnaby Joyce, he, as the new Deputy Prime Minister and as a devout supporter who was willing to cross the floor for the Royal Commission, as someone who has served himself and his family, his expression to me was that he saw that position as one that was more than just a place, as a placeholder, as one that really was opportunity to really drive that portfolio forward. So I have fantastic trust in who he picks. Meeting with Bridget and others, there are some fantastic people in the National Party, and I really look forward to seeing who takes up that role, absolutely.
And on Barnaby Joyce now being appointed as Deputy PM again, and as you say, he did say he was willing to cross the floor. Do you think he would, and what sort of extra change could he bring about now being in that role in terms of what you're working towards?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been quite the journey. I first met Barnaby Joyce back in March when we were campaigning for the Royal Commission, and I remember my first meeting with him. He explained how he had served as a reservist, didn't consider himself a veteran, but his father had been exposed to and broken by a lot of the system we're dealing with now. His grandfather had fought in both wars and lost his 7 great uncles to the wars fighting for this country. And I just saw that passion and that purpose. And again, that was renewed on my visit down there to see how much he was committed to doing the right thing, not simply what was right for political gain. So I really look forward and have been quite enthused and indeed inspired by actually meeting with him again and hearing his dedication and commitment to the cause.
And you're also working with the DVA, I understand, about a new gold standard certification that may help when it comes to compensation and that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a great chat with Liz Cosin, and a lot of the issues in the current veteran care and support space come down to the lead times required for processing claims. I think we've spoken before how it's up to 18 months to 2 years, and what is occurring is a lot of veterans during the time of waiting for those claims are actually developing mental health issues, going up against this system and feeling quite vulnerable and devalued by that. So we had a good chat with Liz and her team about looking to introduce automatic qualification periods for the gold card to reduce the immediate number of claims by more than half if we brought it in at the 4-year mark, if not a little bit after that. It went to about 30% reduction in claims, through to how much is it going to help the health and wellness of veterans as opposed to waiting for that period. And for example, just last week I finally received my gold card after my claims had been going through for the last 2 years. I haven't rushed out and used that, but I automatically have this relief after the admin has finally been kicking up, and I haven't had to follow that up every single day and every single week. So all of this moving forward is about seeing how we can work to implement protocols and procedures that will indeed save the government money, support our people, and reduce this backlog that is currently suffocating DVA and affecting the community.
Absolutely, and I'm sure, all these smaller parts go a long way towards fixing the overall problem. So
Absolutely, yeah.
Fantastic, Heston Russell. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me, Anna.
If you or anyone you know is feeling distressed, you can call Open Arms on 1800 011 046, Defence Family Helpline on 1800 624 608, or Lifeline on 13 11 14.